Hello, we are into week 5, and it is going to be all about mindset. The most important thing to remember is that self-care is the least selfish thing that you can do. If you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of anybody else at a level that would be impactful? So taking care of yourself first and foremost is the most important. And guess what? It starts with mindset. And so we're here to just share all about the importance of mindset and how you can incorporate it on a daily basis by giving you simple tools. And we're going to start with Megan.
Hi, just to formally introduce myself again on video, Megan Zimmer, and I'm coaching from Southern California. So one thing when I think of mindset is I always think of the Faster Way mantras because they do give us a few mantras that when I first heard them, I mean, they seem pretty simple, but it was kind of like a mind shift for me. And that one is progress over perfection. And the idea that you don't have to be perfect to see progress. And I know we're always saying, oh, you've got to, meet your macro goals and fill those targets. But to be honest, you really don't. You just need to be consistent. And one thing I struggled with before coming to the Faster Way was this idea of having to do it all right. And, if I ate cake, then I'd have to exercise, how many calories to burn that off. So I think it's really important to just kind of remember that if we aren't perfect, we don't punish ourselves. We don't have to do anything extra. We just wake up the next day and we continue all the strategies that we know. So that's really been helpful for me in long-term success.
I
That's
agree,
awesome.
Megan, and my idea kind of bounces right off of that because if we're going for perfection, we're going to get so frustrated and we're going to just give up entirely if we don't have time for it, if we didn't meet our macros, if we didn't get in that 30-minute workout. And when we have that perfection mentality, which guilty right here, it's really hard to shift into what can I do with what I have. So what I tell my clients a lot is look at your week, look at your day, look at your hour. What can you do with the time that you have, with the resources that you have, with the food that you have in your kitchen right now, without going to the grocery store and getting the list? That's exactly the way that the recipe calls for. That is the full 30 minutes of the workout. Being a flight attendant, my schedule is so varied. And a lot of times, if I get to a layover and everybody's meeting, I don't have time to get in a 30-minute workout, but I have time to get in a 10-minute stretch. Or when I come back and before bed, I have time to do a quick strength workout, whether it's step ups on the ottoman in the hotel or some jump squats, whatever it may be. The resources are all in the app. So you can choose so many different kinds of exercises by looking at the full body, the upper body, the hip, whatever your day calls for. And you can just take a few of those exercises. They're all listed separately at the end, and just pick a few and do them throughout the day. I like to habit stack with it. That kind of helps doing those, what I call doable doses of movement. So when I get up in the morning, I'm doing squats while I'm blow drying my hair. I'm waiting for the coffee. I'm doing push-ups on the countertop. Once you start thinking in terms of little bits and pieces as you go, it becomes so much easier because you guys, it adds up. The snacks add up, and so do the movements. So just be aware that you don't have to do the perfection and you don't have to have the all or nothing mentality. Give that up, get it done when you can do it, however you can get it done in your timeline.
Yeah, that's great, Barbie. That is very helpful to do that. We call it, well, I guess sometimes you call it snacking throughout the day. So it'd be snacking on your exercises, right? So just to get them in, that's amazing. So one of the foundations in the Faster Way when it comes to mindset is to consider your why. You have decided to start this journey for a particular reason. It may be something as simple as wanting to fit into a specific dress for your anniversary or you have a big vacation coming up. Those are all great and admirable reasons to want to start this journey. But sometimes what we really need to do is dig a little deeper and think about your why. Why is it that you really want to start this health journey? And those are more compelling to keep us a little bit more consistent in making that progress, because it's for a bigger reason out there. For instance, as you age, your desire to lift weights is more because it's important to have muscle to keep us up off the floor. So when we fall, we don't want to have to call somebody to come and pick us up. We want to remain independent and not be put into assisted living or a nursing home because we can't bathe ourselves or even feed ourselves. There are so many other reasons. For me, it's my children. I have 3 boys, and I'm sure they'll love to take care of me as I get a little bit older. But I don't want to put the burden on them that I didn't consider it a burden. It was a blessing to take care of my mom when she was in her 90s. But you know what? They're going to be busy with their kids too. So it's to remain independent. So along with the why, is there something that we call flipping the script? So when you listen to the thoughts in your mind what you feed yourself every single day, throughout the day, you're going to start catching words that you say to yourself. For instance, if you're going to go downstairs and work out, if you say to yourself, oh, I have to go work out. Well, have to do something doesn't really make you feel very motivated to do it, because it feels like an obligation, like it's a command that you have to do. And that command just feels like it's an obligation. You feel kind of a victim of it. So instead of saying, I have to go do something, say, I choose to go work out, or I get to go work out. Praise God that we have strong enough bodies that we can go work out. And then the other one is to, by flipping the script and saying, I choose to, or I get to, that makes you feel less of an obligation, but more of an opportunity. So looking at it as just an opportunity that you are able and capable to do those things. And that makes you feel more powerful and more in control to your future and your destiny. So flip the script when you catch yourself hearing words that are commands, making obligations rather than opportunities for growth.
And you can also flip the script by saying, like, what if I don't make these healthy choices? How is that going to affect me down the road? What if I don't get stronger or maintain my muscle mass? What if I don't put my health first? How is that going to affect you? It's a positive way. You're not putting yourself down. You're not saying you can't. You're just saying, but what if I don't? And how is that going to help, or hinder my ability to move forward and have my body serve me at an optimal level? So it's so important, the mindset. It's totally up to us. And it starts here, what we're telling ourselves, flipping that script, choosing progress over perfection, realizing self-care is the least selfish thing that you can do for you and your loved ones. And just realizing that you get to do these things. You don't have to. It's not a chore. It's a blessing for you to be able to get to. And you can always look at it as discipline over disappointment. But when you make that discipline choice, great, move on. However, if you make that disappointing choice, that's okay too, because just like Megan said, it's all about consistency. You start fresh the very next day. And so with that, we're going to wrap it up. We want to remind you to always reach out to your coach with any questions or concerns, anything that you need help with, and you'll be able to access that in the platform that we're using.
Yep. Thank you guys for coming.
Yep, guys, have a great week. Here we go.
See you in week 6.
Yeah.